It's 5 years after the ending of the first game. Although it's still a post-apocalyptic world, there is some beauty and tranquil in certain areas, especially with nature taking back what's hers. Many camps have learned to self-sustain and have drawn away from the kill or be killed lifestyle from earlier years. You could say some form of civilization has returned. 2 horses whiz by, Joel and Ellie respectively on each horse. Ellie is in front. "Come on, old man, you call this a race?" Joel looks determined. You pan up from his face to see he has a cowboy hat on which has "loser" spray painted on it. You take control of Ellie's horse as the player and race to the finish line. At certain points, you have to decide what the best route to take is. Depending on the route you choose, Joel will catch up to you and put the hat on your head. Yep, it's tag on horses. And every time Joel puts the hat on your head, he taunts you. You have to reach the finish line without the hat on. Whichever happens doesn't affect the story beyond some minor dialogue on the win or loss. You reach the finish line, marked by an old blowing flag, and get off the horses. Ellie and Joel sit down on the ground to appreciate the gorgeous view and sunrise. No talking, just soaking it all in. Far away, we see a mysterious figure watching on. They are wrapped in an old cloak. "Happy birthday, Ellie." "Thank you." Ellie looks at the guitar on Joel's horse. "Can I?" "Knock yourself out, kiddo." As she's about to sing, we hear a distant clicker's screech. Joel and Ellie abruptly turn their attention that way. Okay, let's head back. We cut to the mysterious figure skillfully killing these 2 clickers with a cutlass. A person's eyes only, watching Joel and Ellie ride away. Ellie and Joel enter their camp again. They tie their horses and walk into... Surprise! The place is fairly decorated. Some jolly music is played and the crowd enjoy. You can explore the room as Ellie, interacting with certain items and people. After a few interactions, Dina suddenly races to hug and kiss Ellie. She drags Ellie by the hand to show her a cake. It's hideous. "Made it myself." "Oh gee, thanks." Dina signals to Joel behind Ellie's back. Joel creeps up behind Ellie. Suddenly, Joel and Dina slam Ellie's face into the cake. Ellie rises with a messy face and drops jaw. "Oh my god, fuck you! That was my cake!" Joel slowly steps back, giggling. Dina grabs something from under the table. "Oh, don't worry, I made 2. It's a much better looking cake." Ellie grabs some of the messed up cake and throws it at Dina. She dodges and pulls a cheeky face. Dina helps Ellie clean her face. "Come, let's dance." Ellie licks her fingers clean and follows her. "Okay, I have a very serious question for you. How bad do I smell?" Ellie takes a whiff. "Like a hot pile of garbage?" "Oh, okay." Dina smears herself on Ellie. "How about that?" Gross. Joel sits with his guitar and the crowd around him. He sings and plays a beautiful song. Towards the end of his song, he messes up a little. Joel gets some intrusive flashbacks of him killing the fireflies, the surgeon, and Marlene whilst he's trying to play. Ellie looks concerned. More flashbacks crash in. This time, the scene where Joel lied to Ellie at the end of The Last of Us 1. Joel stops playing. "Ha, think I'm losing my touch." He blushes, trying to laugh it off. He gets up. "So, I want you to have this." "What? Me?" "Well, I etched a little butterfly on it, so yeah." The crowd applauses. Ellie stands up and hugs Joel with a massive smile. Close up on Joel's face during hug. Sheer guilt. We see Tommy next to Maria staring at Joel from afar. 9 days later. It's late night and many of the residents are asleep. The few guards and watchmen are being stealthily taken out by a gang of mysterious goons. Throats slit, arrows to the skull and all. 2 are spared and taken hostage with knives to their necks. The hostages are led into the camp by the goons, most with melee weapons, a few with guns. Easily at least 25 assailants. The hostage situation causes the interior guards to back down. The residents are being woken up with guns to their faces and rounded up outside. The whole community kneel with hands on their heads as they are surrounded. About 100 civilians. Ellie and Dina sleep together and are pulled out of their bedroom mid-sleep. She makes eye contact with Joel as they kneel amongst the crowd. The mysterious watcher walks into the crowd. She finally reveals her face. This is Abby. She walks around as she speaks. I do not mean to disturb the peace in your community. I am actually seeking redemption for humankind. And I have been seeking for a long, long time. She takes a deep breath. It may be hard to believe, but the world remains this way because of one person. Kneeling Joel is panicking within. And that person is here. The community look puzzled, looking around. She makes her way behind Joel and hunches over him. It took me 5 years to find you, motherfucker. Joel clenches his eyes shut, thinking, fuck. She punches him in the back of the head. He tumbles forward. Stop! Ellie and the community want to defend Joel, but the goons with guns aim their weapons, and the goons with hostages tighten their grips. Ellie kneels again. Stand. Joel stands. Tell them what you did. Through the camp gates, we see 3 vehicles park up outside. There is only one occupant in each, the drivers. Joel struggles to find his words. Abby gut punches him. Tell them. Pin drop silence. I had a mission to take a child to the Fireflies because she was immune. They said they could reverse engineer a vaccine. The community look on in despair. We made it, but that child had to die in order for the vaccine to happen. So I fled with the child because I love that child like my own. Abby punches him again. He falls to his knees. Joel, there was no guarantee. Please understand that. But it was our only shot, right? Yeah! Inaudible mutter from everyone gets louder. Abby raises her hand, gesturing for silence. So now, as a community, you need to decide. Is this man still welcome here? No! Get him out! Most of the crowd are voting Joel out. My son was infected last month. Burn in hell, Joel! What if it didn't work? Look, maybe we can talk this thing out. It's you, isn't it? Yes. Take her. No! Oh. What do we have here? Abby approaches Dina. Please, leave them alone. Please? Please. Huh? Sure. Joel, not a chance. This is for Marlene. Marlene? Abby has a henchman named Manuel. Marlene? The surgeon? My brother? Didn't want to leave them a chance, did you, pendejo? Abby points at Joel. 2 other men approach Joel, and just as they are about to put a bag over Joel's head, one of them is shot in the head. Tommy saves Joel yet again. Joel punches the other in the face. The hostages break free with the help of some community members and kill the thugs. Tommy sends 2 dogs into the crowd as he keeps shooting at Abby and her crew. Everyone flees in utter panic. We lose sight of Dina in the mayhem. Abby and her crew are in shock. It's fight or flight for everyone. Abby retreats into a nearby house, although aiming a pistol and shooting back at Tommy. She's a pretty good shot. She gets Tommy in the shoulder area, but he continues defending the camp. Abby is nowhere to be seen. Ellie draws a small knife from her waist and jumps on the back of a WLF member running away, stabbing them in the neck. Ellie gets her gun from the floor and dives into cover. You shoot at Abby's crew. Dina! No response from Dina. Dina, where are you? Joel? I'm here, Ellie. As you are aiming your weapon to kill the second enemy, 2 members of your camp restrain you and put a bag over your head. We need that vaccine. Get off me! We hear Joel's nearby grunt. He grunts again. He pulls the bag off your head. You can see again. You look at the now dead civilians on the ground. Obviously Joel's work. Where's Dina? Go, watch your back, alright? You proceed to the house Abby went in. Now you have to keep an eye out for Abby's crew and civilians against you. You mostly shoot at Abby's crew, but some of the civilians try it. You dispatch of them quickly. You make it to the house. You carefully search for Abby. There's a broken window. Abby has fled completely. Ellie runs back out the house to see Abby's SUVs racing off in the distance. The situation has diffused. Dina! Dina! Ellie scans the bodies on the floor. Civilians and Abby's crew alike. One of the dogs are dead too. The other dog mourns near it. She eventually sees Dina face down. Dina? She races to Dina's body, turning her over. Dina is non-responsive. Dina? No. Ellie holds Dina's limp body, crying her eyes out just like Joel did when he lost Sarah. Joel races back into the scene, towering over Ellie. No! Joel looks down at the ground and closes his eyes. Ellie is burying Dina extremely slowly, crying like a baby. Joel helps. It is done. Joel goes to hug Ellie. She continues bawling in his chest. Look! Look around, Joel! Joel looks around at others mourning and being buried. Now I understand what you had to do, but you can't stay here. You're right. I'm sorry, I tried. Everyone's giving you 3 days. Understood. You sluggishly walk back to your room. Many civilians give you a look as they pass by. Ellie enters her room, sits with a guitar, and serenades Through the Valley by Sean James. Joel eventually walks in towards the end of her song. What are you doing, kiddo? You really gonna go through with this? She puts her guitar down. Long pause. I'm gonna find and I'm gonna kill every last one of them. Ellie, listen now. Listen to what? You? A fucking liar? Joel scratches the back of his head and looks at the floor. Do you have any idea what I'm going through right now? I do. More than anyone else. And I am sorry. Long pause. I'm going to pack my stuff. I suggest you do the same. Joel leaves the room. Ellie stares at her guitar. Ellie walks out of her room with a jacket and backpack on. She closes the door quietly. She leaves the house and sees 2 guards by the exit. As you're about to leave the camp, Tommy grabs you by the arm. Where are you going? Did you know? Yes. Ellie continues walking. Goodbye. Ellie, think twice about this. The 2 guards block your path. Ellie stares at them viciously. Get the fuck out of my way. Tommy signals to them to back down. They step aside. Ellie makes it to her horse. She pets it by the face peacefully. She mounts it. Ellie gives Tommy one last look. Come on, Shimmer. Let's go. You leave the camp on horseback at a slow pace. Now to just follow the tire tracks. You follow the tire tracks, but it's not that straightforward. In some areas you lose the tracks and have to find where they continue. Eventually, you head into an urban city area. No tire tracks here at all. However, you do stumble across one of the SUVs from the other night. It has WLF sprayed on the side and a small pool of motor oil under it. WLF. You dismount the horse and inspect the vehicle. Externally, you inspect the WLF branding. What does this stand for? You have a closer look at the tire treads. I need to remember this tire tread. Internally, you first of all see on the meter that they ran out of gas. You open the glove box. Nothing, of course. You pull down the sun visors and an old note slips out. It reads, "This thing is on its last legs. Leaks oil like a bitch. So, always patrol with another car or Ruby and keep a repair kit in the trunk. See Jeremy if you need help." Jeremy. But who's Ruby? You open the trunk to see? Jack shit, but a can of tin peaches. Ellie sighs, but keeps it. Guess they're done with this car then. You mount the horse again. You proceed in the direction you are going. You find some more tire tracks and colourful oil trails. It leads to a dilapidated shopping mall. You enter the mall. Your horse seems bothered, grunting and occasionally disobeying your directions. Shimmer, what's up? Ellie looks left to see a shambler stumbling towards you at a fast pace. Shimmer rears onto his hind legs, defending you from the attack, but this knocks you off your horse. Shimmer also stumbles back and into a glass window, breaking it and falling onto his side. Ellie whips out her pistol from the back of her jeans and runs away to create distance. Several clickers are alerted to the commotion and join the party. The aim is to kill enough or lure them far enough from Shimmer so that you can retrieve your horse and get the hell out of there. Just like the noisy generator scene in The Last of Us 1, this isn't something you can just rush your way through. You make it back to Shimmer. Shimmer, come on, up. Shimmer neighs in pain. You mount him and race out of the mall. As you navigate your way out of the mall, seas of infected at every turn try to attack you head on. Everything from runners to bloaters. Some come close, but you have to counter in time, or you may be pulled off your horse and into a definite instant death. Close call kicks, last second stabs, you can even shoot if you want. You finally make it out. Phew! It's only now that Ellie notices the shard of glass protruding from Shimmer's right side. Oh no! She dismounts again, pulls out what she can. She whips her backpack off and pours alcohol on the wounds. Shimmer grunts and stumbles in pain. She holds Shimmer by the face to console him. While doing this, she sees a man on the floor in the distance looking at her. He's injured and trying to drag himself away. You proceed towards him on foot. He's bleeding from his shoulder and leg, clothes torn up. Oh shit! He pulls out a gun. Stay back! Ellie dives to safety. He stays on the floor, aiming his gun. What happened to you? Just stay back. You don't have any bullets, do you? I am warning you. I know, because you would have shot yourself by now. He lowers his gun in despair. Fuck. You walk towards him and then tower above him. WLF. Where are they? Fuck you! Ellie draws her small knife. You just gonna kill me anyway? They left you here. Like this. And you're gonna turn. You might as well tell me. I'm responsible for my own mistakes. Like you said, I should have kept a bullet for myself. Disappointed Ellie stabs him up relentlessly. She searches his body. She finds the car keys. She dashes it to the side. She turns him over and goes through his back pockets to find a small notepad. An awfully handwritten note from him reads, Sandra, I'm sorry, I didn't make it. Sorry, didn't listen to you. I can feel myself turning as Shit. I fell out of Vincent's truck. Cause I was broke down and... Yeah, they got me. Those fuckers are fast. But everything went wrong even faster. This is all Abby's fault. She's too nice sometimes and it drives me crazy. I should have just killed them both right then and there. Now they might start looking for us. All of us. Stay safe. Manuel, a good man. I trust he will find the decency to get this letter to you one day. Love you. Look after Helen for me. Ellie rises and keeps it. You mount the horse again. Onward you go. After a while you reach. You! Fuck are you doing here? Ellie reacts. Where's the voice coming from? A dog barks. Go on, get! The dog barks again. You hear the dog getting closer, louder. Come on, Shimmer! You control Shimmer to race out of harm's way. The camera pans around to show you the hostile dog on your tail. Ellie looks back. You can try to shoot, but this is one smart-ass dog, and it's pretty hard to land a shot behind you at such speeds. Shimmer is faster in straight lines, but the dog catches up in corners. Every time it gets close, it lunges towards Ellie to try and drag her off. Every time you try to aim on a straight, the dog switches to the other side. A relentless bitch from hell. At one point, it gets a grip on your leg. Woohoo! Melee to get it off. You hit my dog! The only way to shake the dog off your tail is to leap over enough gaps and obstacles that slow the dog down. Once enough distance is gained, it's an opportunity to shoot. You kill the dog whines. Oh shit! Ellie dismounts. Time to sneak up on this man. He was obviously watching from an elevated point. Must be that water tower. I'm gonna kill you for that! You make your way into the correct building. It's full of traps, but Joel taught you better. The man has a hammer and starts swinging at you. Dodge correctly and counter. He's eventually weakened and drops the hammer. You put up a good fight, kid. You were looking for trouble? You found it. No, I don't look for trouble. But you can't be too safe out here. Do you know anything about WLF? WLF? Why'd you ask? Answer the question. Yeah, I do. You see them racing through areas sometimes, looking for a man named Joel. And when they don't find Joel, what happens? Nothing. They leave in peace. But I don't think anyone would want to fuck with them either. You ever heard the names Ruby, Jeremy, Manuel? Ruby rings a bell. Describe her. Let's see. Ruby looks a little like my dog you just killed. A long pause. I'm sorry, for what it's worth, I don't think my horse has got long left either. I wouldn't even be out here if not for them. Then that must mean you know Joel. Please tell me where they are. What did he do? They seem pretty serious about finding him. I'm not exactly sure what he did, but let's just say he saved me. He saved you, huh? Saved you from what? He laughs hysterically, but stops because of his pain. He looks reluctant. Please, I have lost more than you can imagine. His eyes tell that he has info. Please. Think they're based in Seattle. That's all I know. Thank you. Ellie walks backwards out of the room. Wait! You can't leave me like this. You gotta finish it. You just helped me. I can't kill you. Don't worry, I'll do that myself. Lost my dog. I'm bleeding out. Heck, I even ran out of food. I just need a bullet. 9mm. I know you have some. You press square to give him a bullet, triangle to give him the tin peaches, or circle to leave him empty-handed. You leave either way. If you leave him empty-handed, he says, I helped you! I helped you! As you walk back down to Shimmer, you realize he's bleeding from the wounds more than ever. He really gave his all. Shimmer. Ellie consoles him by the neck. It's okay, Shimmer. You make Shimmer sit. Shimmer's eyes close. She sings him a song quietly. His eyes flinch occasionally. After the song, you tap him. He's not responding. If you gave a bullet to the suburb's dog owner, you hear a gunshot. Ellie looks in the direction. Ellie opens her rucksack and brings out a compass. You walk on through the suburbs. Deeper in, there's infected. You avoid them and stealth kill as much as you can. You start to see human NPCs chilling. Trust no one and sneak around them too. All of a sudden, someone grabs you from behind whilst covering Ellie's mouth. Ellie calms down. She turns around. It's Joel. You okay? Yeah. Ellie, that was a pretty stupid move. Leaving. Without me. You think I'd let you do this on your own? Ellie looks somewhat guilty. So where are we headed? Seattle. We're gonna need a car then. You and Joel look for a working car, checking all the ones that look a bit cleaner than others. You and Joel enter the correct one and try to hotwire it. Its terrible ignition is causing a lot of noise. Come on! Hey! You leave my car! Right now! The elderly man approaches with a shotgun aimed. Come on, Joel! I'm giving you 3 seconds to get the hell out of my car! Joel! Hold on. 3! Ignition attempt. 2! Ignition attempt. The car owner approaches with a shotgun aimed. 1! Alright! Ellie sticks her hands out of the car door in submission. Step out. Ellie slowly steps out. Joel comes round to her side. You want the car? Then I'm gonna want something from you. The man eyes up Ellie, almost giggling. Ellie looks uncomfortable. You can have her back when you bring my car back. Joel lunges at the man while he's focused on Ellie. A shot goes off. Joel mounts him and starts pounding away at his face as Ellie watches. Joel pauses and looks up at Ellie, then continues pounding. Joel stops with a suspended fist. He's done. Let's go. Wait, Ellie, there's something I need to address. Is this really the time? Hear me out. I lied to you. I lied and lied because I was scared to lose you. But it weren't right. Never was. Please forgive me. Long pause. I can forgive you for the lies about the vaccine. But Marlene, she was like a mother to me. What did you do to her? Ellie looks him dead in his eyes. What did you do to her, Joel? I shot her as I held you in my arms. Ellie's eyes fill with rage, disgust, and maybe even fear. She walks off. I didn't want to, but she would have just come after me. Ellie doesn't even look at Joel. Well, now her people are after you. And Dina is... Ellie holding her tears. I am sorry for your loss, but I did what I had to do to get you out of there. I hope one day you form some kind of understanding behind that. Joel hands Ellie the man's shotgun from the floor, a new weapon to your inventory. They start the car and drive off. On the highway, Joel brings the car to a halt. Why are we stopping? We barely said a word to each other. Distant Ellie doesn't even look at him. Don't you want to talk about it? Talk about what? The fireflies? Marlene? Don't you dare say her name! Don't say her name ever again! A deep breath from Joel. Ellie, I need you to know this. I regret a heap of things that I've done. But I do not even for a second, regret saving you. They said, in order to create the vaccine, they would need to operate on your brain. You would be dead, Ellie. Dead! I wish things were different, but they ain't. Just drive, please. When I did what I did, it was out of love, not bitterness, not revenge. I will help you find this WLF group. And then after that, I guess we should part ways. Still no eye contact from her. Joel scratches his neck and looks saddened. He slowly faces forward again and grips the wheel. He continues driving. You play as Abby now. You are gathering items and gearing up. Once you're done, you leave the building and see about 10 members of your crew waiting outside by WLF SUVs. They're wearing uniform, the same as what they wore to Camp Jackson. Our numbers have taken a hit, but we will stand strong and remain effective. Stay alert, stay focused, and stick to the task at hand. Her crew acknowledge, nodding heads with strong eye contact. A dog approaches you. This is Ruby. Abby pets it as it warmly circles around her. You want to come, Ruby? There's no space this time. Abby looks up at Manuel. I know. Stay here, Ruby. I'll be back. A man whistles to Ruby. This is Bill. Yes, Bill from the first game. Ruby goes to stay by him. Y'all take care out there. You two, you enter one of the trucks as a passenger. The rest of the WLF enter the other vehicles. The motorcade drives off and Ruby barks. Abby smiles and waves goodbye to Ruby. Manuel is driving the SUV you are in. So these doctors, you trust them? Don't you trust me? Touché. I trust them with my life. Now it's time to trust them with damn near everything. I'm not saying this ain't gonna work, but what if it doesn't? Then I would have to come to terms with my mistake. It would also mean Joel did the right thing. Somewhat. The right thing? Are you forgetting what this guy did? Slaughtered our friends, our families, doomed humanity, all for a fucking girl? We see her as just a cure. Joel sees something more. But he has to pay for Marlene. Okay, heads up. We're heading into infected territory. You see a sign that reads, "Careful, infected everywhere." All the cars start driving slower. Everything is quieter. It's a swampy area. The cars trudge through nasty mud and puddles. Suddenly, the car in front struggles to navigate through some sludge. The wheels of that car spin, spraying mud everywhere. No, not now! Manuel brings his car to a halt. Everyone speaks quietly from here on. The car in front floors the gas, trying to get through. Manuel sticks his head out the window. Stop! The driver in front heaves and sticks a closed fist out the window. Engines off. Manuel turns the car off. Engines off! They copy. You hear a clicker screech. Fuck! Stay calm, stay low, no guns. A stalker approaches near your vehicle, squirming about as they all do. This can't be happening. Stay calm. It's a stalker. It can see. I need to get rid of it. What are you thinking? There's hundreds more out there. You press triangle to exit the car when the stalker is looking away. Abby! Abby! You get low and creep around your car, getting muddy, all for the sake of your crew. The aim is to approach behind the stalker and stealthily take it out. Watch out though, some of the muddy areas are deep and can get you stuck for a few seconds. If you are seen while stuck, you will be attacked, alerting the rest of the infected, which results in an instant fail state. It does make some noise, but you successfully strangle the fuck out of it. Then, you hear a distant bark. Not a dog's bark, but a bloater's. Clickers screech, runners cry, more bloaters bark. The noise is immense. You get back in the truck. What are we gonna do? 2 o'clock, clicker approaching. Abby gets back out. This time, Manuel joins you. I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to leave them. The clicker comes nearby. You and Manuel get behind it. You press square to dive onto it, but instead of strangling it, you two put your weight on it and drown it in mud. We can't leave them here. The clicker's muffled screeches are no more, and it finally stops moving. Abby, take a look around. I know what you're about, but this is not the time. We have to leave. They spot a bloater stumbling closer. Abby and Manuel get back in their car. Abby looks stressed as hell. Abby, seriously, we gotta move. Abby, it's now or never. Abby is torn in half, hands on her head. Okay, get us out of here! Ignition on. Manuel reverses in a hurry, hitting the car behind and drives around the stock car in front. As this is happening, the car in front tries to drive too, but no luck. The bloater charges to the stock car and rams his hand through the windows. It dives half his humongous body in the car. The occupants scream and shoot helplessly as the car shakes and revs. The clicker breaks a window on the other side of the car and dives in too. One of the occupants tries to flee the car. We don't see her fate. The swarm of infected charge towards the noise. Manuel and the car behind run over some infected as they try to flee. All types of infected are chasing your car now. Watch all angles because some come from in front. You stick a shotgun out the roof and shoot any that get too close. Owen shoots out the windows with a pistol but gives you more shells when you call for it. A thundercrack rips through the air and now it's raining heavily. At one point, Manuel accidentally drives into a bloater head on. Manuel tries to drive, but this bitch is in the way, and strong. You unload several shells into it, still holding the car. Okay, reverse! Manuel reverses. This rips off the front bumper. The bloater has nothing but the bumper in its hands. It dashes the bumper to the side and charges towards you again. Manuel swerves past it, but the bloater whacks your car in the anger as you pass by it. The force makes your car lose balance for a second. When needing to reload, the clicker leaps onto the roof, but doesn't have great balance. You hold it face down and swap your shotgun for a knife quickly. You angrily tear it a new one, and then throw its corpse off the roof when done. You finally make it out of that hellhole. Whew! Everyone can take a breather now. Eventually, you are on some pretty empty roads. The coast is clear. Stop the car! Manuel and the car behind stop. Abby gets out. She sits on the floor and puts her face in both her palms. Sighs. Deep breaths. The rest of her crew get out. She wipes some mud off her face with her forearm. We left them. We had no choice. Come on, Abby. Abby, you really need to check your emotions and priorities. This is about surviving. Alright, calm down. Had I not said anything, we would still be there. Enough is enough. Abby stares at the ground soullessly. How many more of us do you want to die because of your mistakes? Yes, we left, but look around. We're not surrounded or infected. You're right. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. She silently cries, tears in the rain. She looks at the floor again. God, how did Marlene do it? Manuel approaches her. He sticks a hand out, helps Abby up. Abby stretches her back in pain. You're a great leader, but you need to know how and when to make the tough calls. Enough losses, okay? Staring at the ground, she nods her head. Come on, not much further to go. 2 cars pull up outside the house. The area is pretty nice. Her crew exit the vehicles too. Abby steps out and knocks the front door. She steps well back with her hands up. All of you, put your hands up. The rest of her team listen and keep them up. A woman with a rifle opens the curtain on the 2nd floor window. This is Nora, Black American, in her 70s. She opens the window. Abby? Is that you? Yes, it's me, Mom. Abby is here! Herbert, Abby is here! What? A few seconds later, she opens the front door and rushes to Abby with a hug. Abby, thank God. Well, what happened to you? Why are you covered in mud? I'm okay, don't worry. Nora looks at Abby's crew, still with their hands up. Oh, sorry. Nora beckons to her neighbours, who are also aiming guns at Abby's crew, to stand down. It's okay. All is well. You can put your hands down now. They all lower their hands. A Caucasian American man, in his 70s, steps out the house. This is Herbert. Abby? My goodness. He rushes to her and gives her a hug. During this, he spots Manuel. Manuel? Good to see you, sir. Ma'am, wait here. Abby, Herbert and Nora go inside. You walk into the living room and see a picture of young Abby and young Marlene together with young Nora and young Herbert. Abby? Who are these people outside? My crew? Your crew. You pick it up. Abby closes her eyes and puts it back down. You pick up an old certificate in a picture frame. It reads, "This certificate is awarded to Dr. Herbert Thomas for his outstanding achievements in the field of neuroscience." Abby, you want a shower? You're looking like a hot mess. There is one for Nora too. Her full name is Dr. Nora Thomas. There's something I need to tell you. Abby, we haven't seen you in 5 years. We're sure there's much to discuss. Dad, this is important. Okay, go on. I found the girl. Her parents look on in shock. Yes. The immune girl? You found her? Yes. Well, where is she? Most likely looking for me. What happened? I took my crew to a camp and everything went awry. Wow. He was there too. Joel. I almost had him. Shouldn't you be focused on the girl? I can't. He killed Marlene. And because of this rage you hold for him, you failed to acquire the girl. Marlene is gone, okay? And there is nothing we can do to change that. So that means he just gets to live? That is up to you. But if it's sidetracking you from what we all want, and even worse, if you end up dead, is it worth it? Remember what our mission was about. Returning the world back to normal. Well, normal enough. Abby looks to the picture of her with Marlene again. You don't want revenge? For your own daughter? Herbert and Nora look at each other. I didn't hear an answer. They hang their heads. What we're saying is, we don't want to lose you two. Heck, after you disappeared, we did think we lost you. I'm sorry. We're just glad you're okay. Please stay a while. I can't. I have to get back to my camp. Really? Your camp? Over us? After everything? You can't spare 1 day? I'm sorry. No. I was actually thinking you guys come with me. We have something to show you. Follow us. You follow Abby's foster parents upstairs. You turn into a room and they're sleeping, bud. These are your new siblings. A young Asian boy and young Asian girl sleep in beds respectively. His name's Lev. Her name is Yara. When we were looking for you, we found them. Crying. All alone. Lost their parents. No different from you. Wow. You guys haven't changed one bit. They're adorable. When they're up, we can introduce you. We can be a family again. Either way, you're not leaving this house until you have a goddamn shower. They all giggle quietly. Herbert behind Abby escorts her out of the room with his hands on her shoulders. Almost there, but I'm afraid we have to look for gas now. He stops the car. You both get out. Your stomach growls in hunger. He looks at it. And food too. Food first. You search the area for goods. You eventually get to a somewhat shallow, slow current river. Hey, you see that? Look up there. On the highway bridge above, a large truck. The branding on the side suggests it may be full of food. Let's check it out. You follow Joel up there, bumping into a few infected along the way. You make it to the truck. Damn, right now there's no possible way to get this open. Maybe the driver had the keys on him. You run to the truck cabin, not a single corpse in there. Search the cab too, no luck. Anything? No. Joel looks around. He runs to the barriers and looks down at the river. I have an idea. On the highway bridge, there's a broken off section of the barriers. You see that damaged part of the barriers? I need you to steer this thing there. I'll push. What? You're gonna push this thing? Yeah, just put it in neutral. You go to the cab and put the truck in neutral. You done it? Yeah. Okay, here goes nothing. He attempts to push. Jack shit is happening. These deflated tires ain't helping. He pants for air. Joel? I don't think this is working. Yep. Okay, I guess I need your help back here. You step out. Give it everything you've got. We can do this. You mash square to push. It's working. You get back in and turn the wheels in the right direction around obstacles when needed and get back out to continue pushing. The truck finally gets to the broken section of the barrier. Okay. One last push. The truck edges off the highway. You feel each wheel losing contact with the road. Almost there. You both push and off it goes. You slip and damn near fall off the highway, but Joel catches you in good time. The truck crashes into the river and rocks below. You look to see that although the cargo isn't open, the doors have at least warped out of shape as the truck sinks. You both run back down. Once you're there, Joel takes off his bag to dive in. Joel, I'll do it. You keep a lookout. Joel pauses mid-action. Okay. Look for beans, nuts, yes, honey. I know. Beans, seeds, nuts, coffee, honey, dry rice and pasta, dried fruit. Joel gives a slight nod and smirk. Ellie takes off her bag and dives in. Yeah, she can swim now. You see a few old cars on the water that fall from the highway above. You go to the cargo opening and it's a struggle to get it open. Go back to surface for air. Return to continue opening each latch. You finally open the last latch and voila, food galore. You come back to surface with some packets of dried fruit. You throw the packets and cans on land, Joel still watching. You go back down for different ones. As they say, variety is the spice of life. You rise to the surface and throw more food on land, but... Joel? Look around. Joel? Swim to shore. Where is he? As you're looking around, he bursts out from a tree, startling you. Oh my god! So you still care? Oh, whatever. She tries to hide her smile and rolls her eyes. So, dinner is ready? We did it. Press triangle to give an optional high five. Ringing a bell? You think it's still safe to eat? That's your job to find out. Joel beckons with an open hand. You throw him your pocket knife. He sits on the floor, opens the can and sniffs it. Makes a funny face. Ah, yeah, good as gold. Ellie does the same. Look at the stars, Ellie. Wow. Kinda wish I had my guitar right now. This would be a good moment. Over a fire with some freshly cooked fish. I did that with Sarah every month. Under the night sky. Just like this. Ellie smiles. But, don't worry about your guitar. Tommy said he's looking after it for you. You both rise in panic. It's a woman. She looks disheveled. This is Tara. You're WLF! Yes, I'm not armed. You can search me, please don't hurt me. So you think we're gonna help you? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't drive this can through your skull. Because it is me who wants to help you. Look at me. They left me. So how can you help? You are looking for us. Yes? I can take you to them. Whoa, hold on now. Why the hell should we trust you? This could be a trap. All I want is some of that food. and I'll help you. Ellie charges towards her. Joel holds her back. I have a lighter. We can light a fire and cook. Eat properly. I should kill you right now. But now I have to let you enjoy food in front of me? It's your choice. I have nothing to lose. And nor do you. Ellie and Joel look at each other. They walk away from her. What do you want to do? You know what I want to do, Joel. It sounds like a good lead to me. We just have to be cautious. Okay, we'll let the beach eat. They all sit in front of a fire. Tara wipes her mouth. Thank you. Now spill. I have your word that you let me live. I won't hurt you. And you? At least there's a hole into her soul. I'm not your enemy. Let me help you find what you're looking for. I promise. I won't kill you. Washington Liberation Front. We are everywhere, but our base of operations is in Seattle. And our squadron's leader is Abby. We're made up of former Firefly and Fedra members. And you're Ellie, seemingly immune to the cordyceps fungal infection. Our mission was to find you and... I'm sure you know the rest. The president secretly supplies us. Imagine our nation being able to say that the cure for mankind came from American soil. And you must be Joel. A lot of people want you dead. I don't have anything against you, but at our camp, there is food, shelter, and one thing I can say is, we are not savages. They provide for me, and I just follow orders. Didn't think they would do me like this though. Get to the point. Before I lead you to them, I want to ask a question. If the vaccine really does work, if it really does bring the whole world back to civilization, would that not be honorable? Ellie's about to speak. You got some nerve! But he loves you. I can see that. If it were me, I don't know if I would have done anything different. Tara stands up. Our camp is this way. I assume you have a car? You pack some food items into your bags. Put them back on and follow her. We need gas. Where's yours? You don't want to know. Well, do you know where we can get gas from around here? Nope. Then we need to get to yours. It's swamped, both in mud and around infected. I was lucky to get out of there alive. We got no other choice. Okay, I'll show you, but I am not going back in there. Walking, later. How did you find us anyway? We basically hunt men that match your description. Anyone that does is under surveillance until we get a positive ID by those who have actually seen you. The way you've approached is from an elevated building. There it is. There's a gas can in the trunk. The damaged, swamped and bloodied WLF SUV with its lights still on and door open. Once again, I'm not going down there. And if you ask me, I don't think you should either. How do we know you ain't gonna run off? You gave me your word. Now I'm giving you mine. Joel puts on his gas mask. You and Joel climb down the ladder on the side of the building. Quietly traverse towards the car, avoiding noisy leaves and twigs. Pin drop silence. Apart from when you occasionally hear the distant bloaters bark and clickers screech. Scary as hell. You make it to the car, 2 dead men in it. You open the trunk slowly and carefully, just enough to see inside. It occasionally creaks. The gas can is in there. You take it and slowly close the trunk back. Joel does a gesture to ask if there's much in there. Ellie shakes it ever so slightly and nods her head. Joel acknowledges and gestures to head back the way they came from. You creep back the way you came from, but as you pass the car again, Tara, is that you? I knew you'd come back. Turns out the one the clicker attacked wasn't dead, just injured and infected. You continue creeping. Once the bright headlights hit you, he sees that you aren't Tara. You ain't Tara! Come back here! Ah! Ellie, run! You start running. The prick in the car hits the horn a few times to make sure he seals your fate. Here come the infected, closing in on you from all angles and you can damn sure hear it. You make it back to the building. Joel lets you climb the ladder first. Go, go, go! Joel starts climbing. A runner grabs his leg. He pulls on the ladder to shoot it off him. Better not miss. You got it. Okay, go! You make it to the top. Tara is still there. You put the canister down and reach your hand down to Joel. Come on, Joel! Many infected, including the bloater, grab the ladder and try to rip it out of the wall. Joel grabs your hand and makes it up there with you just as the ladder goes crashing down. He rips his mask off and lays face up on the floor, catching his breath. Getting too old for this shit. Ellie chuckles in relief. That was close. Ellie looks at Tara. You walk towards her. She looks concerned. What's wrong? She continues to retreat from you. She's pretty slow, as she's also pretty fucked up. Hey, what is this? You promised. I promised I wouldn't kill you. She reaches the side where you and Joel just came up from. Ellie? No, please, no! Where to melee? You boot kick her down. She falls into the hellhole. Ellie walks to the edge to observe. Tara is still alive. She gets up in pain and looks around. The infected charge towards Tara. A bloater stumbles in and grabs her jaw, ripping it clean off from her skull. Ellie looks back at Joel, still on the floor. Joel looks lost for words. 7 years ago. Young Abby, about 21 years old, sits across her mother who is turning. This is Grace, in her 40s. Abby, you have to go. No, Mom, don't say that. You've done well, but my time is coming. Abby rocks about stressfully. Please, go. Don't want to hurt you. I'm not leaving you. Grace slowly and unsteadily rises to her feet. Mom? Grace starts making strange noises. Abby gets up too in a cautious stance. Grace charges towards you. Use the dodge mechanic. You run around the house from her. The front door is an exit, but it's heavily locked and latched. Try to open it now and you will instantly fail. Occasionally, Grace stops and twitches. What's left of her sanity tries to spare you. Sorry. Not me. I know, Mom, I know. Fuck, this is pretty damn emotional. What to do? Kill me. It's the only way. I can't do it. I don't want life like this. You have to. Here she comes again. This will keep going on until you do it. You run to the kitchen and grab a knife. Mom, no. Grace dives on you, which knocks the knife out of your hand. Mash square to prevent being bitten. She's way stronger. The bite is slowly, but surely imminent. Grace's face displays sorrow and confusion at times, unbridled ferocity at others. Abby grabs the knife from the floor and slices her mum's neck in a dodge counter. Grace gets off and stands up, holding her bleeding throat with one hand, and her other hand has a palm up in surrender. Grace stumbles about and chokes. I love. Grace is in serious pain and trying to get the last word out over the flowing blood. Her hands clenched around her throat. She grimaces. She drops dead. Abby races to her, lifting her head into her arms. Abby silently weeps as she gets covered in blood. After a while, Abby takes a look at her crimson hands and stands up. She walks backwards from Grace, gasping in disbelief and disgust. She unlatches the heavily locked front door. You step out and run, running and crying, wiping tears in the rain. Run like the wind. To where? Just run. Still running. You trip. You recover. You stumble. You fall. You are drained, lost, lonely, broken. Abby lays on her back, panting. Abby's point of view, looking at the glum skies and cold raindrops crash down on her. What should we do with her? Your eyes struggle to stay open. A woman comes into your field of view. It's Marlene. Your arm is around Marlene as she hurries you to her car. She puts you in and shuts the car door. Abby suddenly wakes up from her sleep. She wipes her eyes and looks out her window. The camera travels to Joel and Ellie. They have found the camp. Ellie is laying flat on her stomach, observing with binoculars. Haven't seen much of him. Well, this is it. You sure you want to do this? She sees Bill playing golf in the open areas of the camp. You're not going to believe this. What? Bill? He's there. Give me that. She hands them to him. Joel looks through. He puts them down and looks at the ground in confusion. He looks through them again. Bill enters a building with his golf club. Joel grits his teeth. Right. He's all mine. Understood? Fine. You now play as Joel. Let's do this quietly. When I nod my head, that's a 3 count. Okay. Ellie looks focused and switches to her bow and arrow. You should do the same. You and Ellie proceed down towards the camp and split up. There are watchmen in watchtowers, but also guards circling the perimeter on the ground. One of them is patrolling with Ruby on a leash. He unlocks and goes inside the front gate's small door with Ruby. Only now can you successfully attack. This is all very time sensitive. In order to infiltrate, you and Ellie have to silently and simultaneously take out the guards in the watchtowers first. When aiming, signal to Ellie with R3 to mark your target and begin the 3 count, which you, as the player, have to time yourself in real life. Then, you immediately rush to the few guards on the ground, or quickly take them out with the bow and arrow too. But if you miss, they call for help. WLF swarm out of the camp and results in an instant fail state. If you and Ellie don't take them out in time, the guards will realise the watchmen have been taken out and shout for backup. Done. You and Ellie regroup. Now to actually get inside. Massive front gates with barbed wire? No. There should be a side door somewhere. Ellie finds and rushes to it. Of course it's locked. From the other side. Help Ellie vault over the wall near the door with the barbed wire. She takes off her top and uses it with her bag to protect herself from injury. Careful. Could be a bit of a drop. And watch your back, okay? Ellie falls in. She unlocks the side door for you. You step inside and close the door back gently. You see where the dog went? No. You see 2 men from Abby's convoy sitting near the SUVs joking about. If you aim, Ellie will copy. If you go all the way to them and melee, Ellie will handle the other guy. You kill the last 2 watchmen in the back watchtowers either by bow and arrow or climbing all the way up there and showing them hands. You enter a building now. 3 WLF members standing around in a canteen area, conversating. 2 of them have their back turned towards you. The other person is further away, but facing your direction. We're gonna need more supplies soon. Ines said the stock check wasn't looking good. Got it. How's your food anyway? Oh, you know. Trash. I don't know why Dan is the cook for this month. I wouldn't even give that shit to the dog. Waste of resources if you ask me. The woman occasionally turns around to eat. This is your chance to stealthily strike on the back-turned enemy. You then rush the woman and restrain her, covering her mouth. Ellie finishes her off to make things quieter and more efficient. You proceed down a long hallway and into another room. You see Bill walking, still with his golf club. Nobody else is around. He turns into a room. You follow. Bill is facing away, about to undress. Joel creeps up right behind him. Explain. He turns around and steps back in shock. What the fuck are you doing here? Joel looks furious and slowly walks towards him, eyes locked on him like a hawk's. Bill looks at his golf club and then at Ellie. Ellie leans by the wall, arms folded, just watching Bill's inevitable demise unfold. Joel, what the fuck are you thinking? You're supposed to give the girl to the Fireflies. You gave them info? About me? She was immune? All this time the bitch girl is immune? Did you give them info about me? What do you think? We needed that cure. You gave up everything. For her? What are you, insane? Joel punches him in the throat. Bill skedaddles to his golf club, swinging it in defense. Stay back! Ellie stays by the door, unbothered. You advance towards him and dodge counter. After a few times, you grab it off him and beat him to a pulp with it. He falls to the floor, still alive, just about. Bill squirms on the floor like a pathetic, hopeless worm. Joel strikes Bill's head with the club. Again. And again. And again. Bill's head caves in. The club gets lodged in the skull. Joel lets go of it. Ellie rushes forward and spits on Bill. Still gotta stick up his ass. Come on, let's go. Ruby starts barking outside in the distance just as they're about to leave the room. Sound the alarm! We're under attack! Find and protect Abby! Move! Joel and Ellie look at each other. The alarm goes off. Red alarm lights consume the hallways. Ellie draws for her pistol. Joel draws for his trusted revolver. Gunfight. Shoot, bang. One of you kills Owen. Owen! They got Owen! Later, Ellie approaches a weakened WLF woman. This is Sandra. Please don't kill me. I know you lost your woman. It wasn't our intention. Well, you still have to pay. We could have killed you. Maybe you should have. Ellie ends her with the pole. Later, Ellie is in front. You creep past the gym area and all of a sudden, a tall, extremely built man grabs you from behind. This is Jeremy. Mash square to avoid the chokehold. Ellie keeps walking and doesn't even realize. Ellie turns around. She rushes to the man and attempts to stab him in his head. Before that can happen, he lets go of Joel and takes a stab to the arm instead. He uppercuts you and throws Ellie to the nearest wall. You stumble back, losing balance. He power walks to Ellie and strips her of all her weapons, throwing them far away. You stay right there! I'm gonna enjoy this. Ellie is severely weakened. He's coming for you again. Get up, Joel! He charges. Dodge. Ellie's dragging herself back to her weapons. You try to aim your gun because fuck fighting this guy. He whacks it out of your palm. He grabs you again from behind and rips your bag off. He throws you through a window and into the gym. The beast vaults over the broken window. It's just me and you, and you're gonna pay. You run around the gym from him, staying behind various apparatus to keep something, anything, between you and him. Really, Joel? You can hear Joel breathing in fear and exertion. He starts to throw dumbbells and weights at you. You better dodge each one, otherwise you're stunned, followed by an instant death. After a while, Joel, use it! Use what? Off-screen, Ellie throws her knife into the room for you. You run to it and pick it up. Not really Joel's style, but it's worth a try. Cute. It's boss fight time. Any of his hits that land take half health. The man charges towards you and throws a flurry of punches. Counter, counter, counter. You stab his clenched knuckles on his last jab. He shakes his hand in pain. Ellie, I could do with your help here. I'm coming. Rinse, repeat. His attacks change. You stab his other bicep. He runs to the window to check on Ellie. You stay where you are. I mean it. Or I'll stomp your skull and there'll be no cure left. He focuses on you again. He realizes his arms are basically out of service. So, here he comes with mighty kicks. Oh, goddamn. This guy's full of surprises. You stab up one of his legs on the end of the counter. Alas, Ellie opens the door, armed with the glorious shotgun. She power walks towards him. He speedily limps to her. She shoots him in his fine leg. He drops to the ground, screaming and rolling. He lays on his back. Joel looks at some heavy barbells. You walk towards them. You lift the crazy heavy set. You slowly walk to the beastly man on the floor and lift the weights high, square to let go. The weights go crashing down, rupturing his chest cavity. His eyes roll, blood spurts out of his mouth. See you in hell. The last of his life flutters away from his soul. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Here. Thank you. You and Ellie walk out to retrieve your belongings. The alarm and lights stop. Someone is on the PA system. All WLF, stand down. I repeat, all WLF, stand down. Joel, I know you're here. Ellie too. There's someone who wishes to speak to you. Hello. My name is Dr. Nora Thomas. I don't know if that name sounds familiar to you, but if you knew Marlene's full name, then you would know that I am her mother. We need to stop this bloodshed. All of us. It's not worth it. What does it achieve? Please, meet me in the lobby. I promise no harm will come your way. I would like to talk to you. I know you are in the gym. Several of my people will be with you shortly. There is no escape. They are armed. Please do not try to run or fight. It will not end well for you. Soldier-like footsteps from both directions are heard. Holster your weapons, and we will holster ours. Ruby is held on a leash. Ruby eyes you up, growling and barking like crazy at you. Left on D-pad to holster weapon. Or you can aim at the WLF and receive an instant death if you like. You holster it. Two men approach you and Ellie to remove your weapons. Follow us. Keep your hands up. No sudden movements. You and Ellie follow. WLF behind you follow you too. Someone behind you says, I just want to kill him. You're not the only one. Soon you reach. You set eyes on Abby and Manuel. They don't look happy with you, nor you with them. Abby knocks a door and out come Nora and Herbert. So, you are the man who took our Marlene away from us. Joel looks to the ground. Nora walks right up to him. Look at me. He looks. What is this? Why is this bastard still standing? I want him dead! Abby attempts to charge at you, but Herbert grabs her. Abby, please. He holds her by the face. I understand, but please. You said it was up to me. Yes, but we need to give them a choice, just as you have a choice. Darling, I know you have been through so much. You must be really confused, feeling like you're stuck in the middle of all this. Yes, I know. You see that girl over there? That's Marlene's sister. Marlene found her and looked after her, just as she did for you. I've heard all about you, Ellie. You are special. It's part of the reason I forgave this man. Yes, you are special. And I know, deep down, you want to change the world. Am I right? Ellie looks at Joel. Joel looks at Ellie. Ellie's eyes water. Ellie nods her head as she tucks her lips, holding in her cry. Nora holds Ellie by her head. That is why he lied to you. He had to make a decision, and he chose you. But revenge has driven you here. And now it's time to let go. Let go? Nah, fuck that. I ain't letting shit go. It is time we all let go. Silence rings through the room. I learned to let go a long time ago. If we don't let go, and we keep slaughtering each other, then what do we become? I remember when I wanted you dead. I was plotting to find and kill you myself. If not for my wife, I would have lost myself. Ellie, my sweetheart, the man you stand next to took my daughter away from me. I let go. Now you feel that Abby is responsible for the loss of your girlfriend? Yes? Ellie stares at Abby. Abby stares back. Ellie nods her head. But can you let go? Ellie's watery eyes dart about. She looks down at her arm tattoo, looks to the ceiling and then back at Nora. Ellie nods. My dear Abby, can you let go? Abby sits down and takes deep breaths through her mouth. She runs her hands through her hair, raising her eyebrows, sighing. You really don't want this man dead? No, Abby. As much as you wish for me to say yes, I don't. She gulps, takes a breath. I can let go. Joel, can you let go of Ellie? Joel stares into Nora's eyes. He looks at Ellie. He turns to Ellie and cries a single tear. Ellie, is this really what you want to do? Ellie wipes her face and nods her head. I'm sorry. Sorry that I never took the time to ask you this. I'm sorry that I never really gave you a choice. He looks at Nora again. Is there not a way that she comes out of this alive? Nora takes some time, but shakes her head. Damn it. Deep breaths. You're sure you're the right people to do this? We're the only ones left who can do it. We wouldn't do this unless absolutely certain. Our research and practice is substantial. Nora puts her hands together, hoping. You want me to let go? I can't. Joel walks about with his hands on his hips, head hanging down. You and anyone you like can be there, by her side during the procedure. Joel! No, this is not fair! Joel? Ellie, I can't. I need you to do this. For me, we can of course give you time. I can't. Not unless I play you one more song. She loved the guitar. Don't you, kiddo? Ellie chuckles a little, wiping some tears away. Joel hugs her tightly, uncontrollable weeping. Manuel walks right up to Joel and stares him down. Manuel. He looks at Ellie and then back to Joel. This better work. Nora rests a hand on Manuel's back. Manuel walks away with pent-up anger. 1 week later, Ellie lays on the operating table in a gown as Joel holds her hand. Herbert lightly rests a hand on Joel's shoulder from behind. It's time. Joel looks at Nora, then into Ellie's eyes. He picks up Ellie's guitar. You're sure this is the song you want? Yes, Joel. Not very fitting, but it is me and Dina's faith. You know that. Joel takes a deep breath and performs Through the Valley by Sean James. Ellie moves her feet and taps her hand against the operating table in rhythm with the song. In the observation room, we see Tommy, Maria, Lev, Yara, and Abby watching on with some armed WLF members nearby. Maria holds back some tears and hugs Tommy. Lev and Yara look sad. Ellie is going unconscious as she stares at Joel. Her tapping falls out of sync. Joel tries to keep it together. Ellie's hand stops tapping.
Restore my soul, but I know when I die, my soul is damned.
10 years later, the weather is gorgeous. Close up on grizzly, grey-haired Joel. He is sitting on a chair and reading something. He turns to the last page. He smirks. He closes it. A savage Starlight comic. He tucks it in his jacket. Still ain't my cup of tea, but I can see why you liked him. He looks up at something and now looks saddened. He walks forwards to it with a walking stick. He rests a hand on a monument. It reads, "In honor and memoriam of Ellie Miller, daughter, lover, and savior of humankind, never will your gracious and selfless act be forgotten." A far camera angle reveals a massive but spectacular statue of Ellie. She looks good, clean, approachable, respectable. We see the White House in the background. Every building and the surrounding area has been restored to its former glory. Some kids walk by with school teachers, giggling and playing about. Joel looks at them. US Marine sentries scatter the park. He steps back from the extravagant monument. Mounted in front of it is the guitar Joel gave her, along with several well-kept flowers. To the left, there is a monument for Dr. Herbert Thomas, and to the right, one for Dr. Nora Thomas, although they don't have statues. I missed you, Ellie. You were better than me. Stronger than me. Thank you for everything. Joel walks away. A US Marine sentryman walks in, salutes and takes the chair away. Tommy rests an arm around Joel and they walk together. Race you to the car. Top-notch comedy, Tommy. Very good. Tommy laughs and jogs away. Joel continues to walk. Joel spots Abby in US Marine sentry uniform, staring at him from afar. She stands straight and salutes Joel. Joel takes a while, but nods his head with a slight smile. The end.